Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Professor David J. De Los Reyes. I just assembled an EM radio with minimal components. Okay, the components are just how many resistors are this one? We got only three TO92 transistors as a component. Okay. One on the left, two on the right, over here. This is the EM antenna. This is the tuner. This is the volume control. Plus some diodes, small capacitors as a support component. And this comprises the circuitry of a simple EM amplitude modulation radio. The power supply of this one is just 9 volts DC. So this is the entrance of the positive and negative voltages. This is the output going to the speakers with the proper polarity plus or minus. The red one goes to the positive terminal of the speaker, and the white one, I use white instead of black, as the negative, it goes to the negative terminal of the speaker. I have tested this one already and it works. So I added an LED over here with the series resistor for the LED not to get burned. This LED will just indicate that power is supplied to the EM receiver. If it is lighted, of course, the voltage going in is fine. But if we try to connect the power terminals and the LED is not lighted, of course, current is not going in. So the purpose of this LED is for us to know that power is going into the receiver. The bandwidth of this EM receiver is not too much because it just comprises of a discrete components, 3 TO92 transistors as the main module of the EM receiver. There are so many components over here. These are small high-frequency capacitors. Okay. This is actually a potentiometer to adjust the signal going into the detectors. These ones here are actually signal diodes. Okay. We got some filter electrolytic capacitor here. It's not so big. Plus this one. Plus this one. So if we try to operate this one now, I got a 9-volt battery. It's a new one. I got my regulated power supply, but the output is not a perfect DC. So if we try to use this on an AM receiver, which is not so perfect, okay, the sound is not so good. So we better use a perfect DC coming from a direct battery. To remedy that one, we must have to add some filter capacitors to smoothen out the the output of my regulated power supply. I checked it. The sound a while ago was noisy. So to remedy it, I will better use a battery. Okay, we'll try to operate now the AM receiver. The plus and minus is connected with the yellow and green. The yellow is connected. The green, it goes to the positive terminal.
Trying to prevent it from being destroyed.
So,
Yes, the last failed
as you could hear it,
cost taxpayers $200
the AM receiver works good. The bandwidth of this one is not so much, meaning you could not tune to as many AM receivers as possible because the component being used is just this discrete component, the small TO92 transistors. If we will be using an integrated circuit in which the other components are inside, it is centralized. Of course, the operation will be much smoother. But since this is, the components are just three TO92 transistors over here, okay, it's hard to center out the stations we are tuning. But at least we could hear for this station that the sound is perfect. Okay, this is an AM receiver. What I call this? Assembled by engineer David J. De Los Reyes. Good evening from Los Angeles.